When Alex Salmond returns to the Commons, that's going to put your gas at a peep, isn't it?
Well, first off, I'm so pleased to be able to follow a segment on equalities and supporting women in politics. Today is a hugely important day in Scotland for Nicola Sturgeon becoming Scotland's first female First Minister, but also sending a signal to young women in Scotland, but further afield, many watching this programme perhaps, that one shouldn't restrict one's ambition as to where one can end up, and Nicola will be an excellent First Minister. In terms of Westminster elections, well, it's very exciting in Scotland because the most recent opinion polls show that the SNP is polling in the mid-40s, and the most recent poll 45–46%, which would mean that the SNP... Would you welcome the return
of Alex Salmond to the Commons?
I'd be delighted to see a return of Alex Salmond to the Commons. He would be an excellent addition to what I hope will be the biggest ever SNP group in Westminster. He was on the radio this morning. He was asked this very question. Andrew, he said he hasn't yet made up his mind. He'll be doing so in the next few weeks, and his political home is in the northeast of Scotland.
You and I both know he's going to run, so I mean, let's not dance around here. It's like asking Michael Heseltine if he was going to run against Mrs. Thatcher. We all knew the answer, and we know the answer to this. Will he become the leader of your MPs in Westminster? Does he take over from you?
Well, I'm delighted to be leader of the SNP at Westminster. We make the decisions about who the office bearers of the group are when we know who's actually been elected. So I know you're fascinated by personnel politics. What's more important, though, is that people in Scotland making their decisions in the run-up to the Westminster election are deciding in record numbers not only that they're going to vote for the SNP, but they're going to join it, and our membership has gone through the roof, many of them women incidentally, and I would encourage anybody who's watching the programme at the moment who's interested, please join via the SNP website.
If you do get if we have another hung parliament, and partly the reason we have a hung parliament is because there's a big bunch of SNP MPs sent from Scotland, and you need to get into some talks. Who's the kingmaker in this? Is it you, or is it Alex Salmond, or is it Nicola Sturgeon?
Well, firstly, it's worth reminding ourselves that the SNP is in a position of holding the balance of power in the current Parliament, because there's actually a non-Conservative majority here, but the Labour Party preferred to see the Tories in government and were not prepared to work with the SNP. We're not prepared to work with the Tories, but we are prepared to work with the other political parties, most likely on a confidence and supply basis, but we really shouldn't be getting ahead of ourselves on how that works or who does what. We need to get through the election to work out how many people we actually get elected, and that's why we're working as never before to make sure we manage that. And what's quite important in this context is that our SNP conference in Perth at the weekend, we changed the party's policy on potential candidates, so we're looking forward to having a wider than normal group of potential SNP candidates, many who played a leading role in the Yes campaign, ensuring that we win across Scotland, and that will be the best result for people in Scotland.
Okay, what's the red line that you've got at the moment? What would you insist on before doing a deal with anybody?
Well, the most important thing is the vow, because of course the three UK party leaders made explicit pledges in terms of more powers for the Scottish Parliament, so we can grow the economy, so we can make the society fairer.
What power would you want?
Well, we're talking,
most of all.
Well, the vow is what needs to be delivered, and then there are other issues beyond that. Obviously we've ruled out working with the Tories, but there are others like we do not want Trident based in Scotland. So these are things that we will sit down. Well, Nicola Sturgeon, I'm sure you heard her speech, she said that these are absolutely key issues for us should we hold the balance of power.
But are they a red line?
Well, of course it's a red line that we want more powers for the Scottish Parliament, and that is what we will be going into negotiations about. But it would be in stark contrast to the three UK parties who appear to be running away from delivering on their promises as fast as they can, and that's why people are backing the SNP.